Luke sat in the cramped hut of the Dagobah system. Just what was the point? "Oh, come on," he said, finally asserting himself to the small green man beside him. "How could you know my father? You don't even know who I am." "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. We're wasting our time." Yoda spoke to an unseen voice in the room. "Will he finish what he begins?" he asked. Luke inched closer. "I won't fail you. I'm not afraid," he asserted. Yoda slowly turned to face Luke. "You will be," he whispered back. "You will be." The response sent a shiver down Luke's spine. Just who was this little green man? He was an odd little thing, and far from the image of a Jedi master he pictured in his head. There he was, in the middle of some swamp, a bazillion parsecs away from his friends. Reality began to set in, and it was lonely. He could hear flaps of distant creatures in the wind and the croaks of space frogs. It briefly took his mind off the stench. How horrible. Luke turned to face Yoda, who had quietly slipped into his rocking chair sitting on his porch. Oh, great, thought Luke. To his surprise, from underneath a loose floorboard, Yoda pulled a small box, filled with scraps of papers and odds and ends. "What now?" groaned Luke. Yoda began fiddling with the box, but Luke began to put the pieces together. "Many questions you ask." Yoda said. He raised the pristine, cylindrical joint into the space lighter. Spark up tonight we will." Luke couldn't believe his eyes, but it was the smell that hit him like a torpedo. "Damn, Master Yoda, that shit is—" His sentence came stuttering to a stop as Yoda took a long, deep inhale. His eyes, which were usually buggy and wide, were now red. Somehow the J found its way into Luke's hand, and he took a puff. It hurt. A fiery, burning sensation filled his lungs, rising sharply into his face. He needed a moment to collect himself. That was definitely a mistake, Luke thought to himself. What was he doing? The galaxy needed him, but he was stuck there in some random guy's shitty hut. What the fuck? It was hard to focus with all the noise. The animals and creatures of the Dagobah system seems a bit louder than usual. Surely it wasn't like this earlier. There must be a predator on the loose, he pondered. He turned to check if Yoda had a lock on his door, but there was none. Yoda didn't have a door. This guy lived in the middle of a swamp and slept with the door open. Like there. "Yoda, there's a big snake, like 2 meters away. What are we gonna do?" Luke turned to face Yoda again, but to his dismay, his small green face adorned a smirk. That Dagobah weed, strong it is." He chuckled.